Hey there, CAD 101. Hope you guys are doing well. Again, hope you had a good weekend. Pretty nice fall we've been having so far. It's been pretty great. All right, so let's get into this week's assignment. So we've got example 10, and we're going to start example 11. I'm not going to give you a whole lot of information on example 11. It'll be a bit more of a challenge than in previous days, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go ahead and talk about example 10. Okay. As in previous examples where we have circles, I had mentioned that when you set up to start drawing geometry that are based on circles, you really want to think about that geometry as being a complete and total circle. So, for example, like where is the center point of your circles? And if you drew it as a complete circle, how would you line those up as a complete circle? So if we look in the middle here, and actually let me just, I'll start by talking about what they give you here. So you're going to notice that a lot of the dimensions are coming from this center point. So 1.92 over to here, it's 2.38 over to this guy, and then we've got 3.75 over here. The circles here, so radius 2.75, that center point is right here. And because these are similar, they're like, it's an even spacing from here over to here, we can then assume that they share a center point. It's just that the radiuses are bigger. If these were different center points, you wouldn't get an even spacing. You wouldn't get an even reveal of that flange. You'd get, it would be thinner here, and it would be thicker here, and then it would be the same thinness here, and that would mean your center point was probably, closer into that edge. And it would be the opposite if it was out here. So we'd have like, it would look different. So you got to kind of notice a little bit where your dimensions are coming from, and the dimensions are starting at this center point. So this would be a great place to place your XY or your origin and base all of your sketches off that. So obviously this is a circle, so it's base feature circle. If we continued this around right here, this is a circle, and obviously it shares a center point right there. We could even draw a circle here that was really big, that went around like this. These here also, you could kind of imagine that circle going around, and the same thing here going around all the way. So you can start to see how you could just start drawing with pretty limited construction lines, several circles to help you line up stuff. So if you had, your horizontal construction line, vertical wouldn't be bad to have here either. And then you could start your, angled construction lines that would be, if this is 0, bisecting this angle, we've got 60 degrees here. This is 0, so we've obviously got 30 here. And we've got another 30 here. So this would be, 30. And because, and this is again a review, how AutoCAD does its angles, but it's a really important one to consider, is we've got 0, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, all the way around to 360 again. So if we were to look at that, now we've got 30 degrees minus 360 because we're counting this direction. We're counting counterclockwise. So this would end up being, if you were to draw that with snap points, you'd end up at 330. So it's 30 degrees minus 360. And then, you could do a construction line that's a circle. around this direction, and then you've got your center points to base these circles off of. So to do a basic setup, and I'm only going to give you so much here, you know, we might end up with something that looks like that. You know, and then you could base your circular geometry off of this sketch here. Now again, you know, you're going to be, your trim tool is going to be your friend on this one, because you're going to have some straight lines intersecting those circles, and then you're going to use your trim tool to trim away unnecessary parts of that circle, which in some of these circles, it's the majority of the circle you're trimming away. So yeah, consider that. This stuff over here is pretty basic geometry. You know, you've got your, your fillet over here. So you could start this as a just a square feature, which it mostly is with, you know, a fillet feature. So that's kind of the trick too, is determining, you know, basically a square feature with a fillet versus a, you know, circular geometry. And we've got kind of half and half of both. So we start out with a lot of circular geometry on this side, and then we've got some more kind of more traditional type linear squared geometry with a fillet. So so keep that in mind. Again, this one, we are only doing a single view, just one view, not three. So the thing I want you to come away with on this one is setting up for circular geometry again, and identifying circular geometry and how it's different than the way you set up for linear geometry. So there's that one view, and then you're good. So not three views, just one. I'm not going to penalize you if you do three, but don't make extra work for yourself if you don't want to. Number 11. This one is tricky, very tricky. So if you get this, it'll be, I'll make it out of, let's see, I'll give you 105%. So you get extra points. So I'm going to show you one tool, how to get this figured out. If you get it turned in by Sunday, actually, no, I'm going to make it 110. You get 110% on this one if you get it. And I'm going to give you one tool. I'm going to show you how to use one tool, because that one tool is going to be the way you figure this one out. And so we're going to go over that right now. All right, so let's go out here. I'm on my zero layer. Circle, another circle. Okay. Here's the tool. Underneath your circle tool, there's this thing called tan radius. And what tan stands for is tangent. So we've got tangent, tangent, and then radius. And as you can see from that icon, the red circle is the thing you've created with this tool. So it is a circle. Let me see. Is it going to give us? There we go. It's going to go away though. I'll just create it out here. So what this does when we click here is we're going to select tangent on this circle. We're going to select a tangent on this circle, and then we're going to specify a radius of our final circle. So let's do that right now. So tangents, tangents, and then I'll go 10, enter, and we end up with a circle. Okay. So we specified the tangency on this circle, the tangency to this circle here, and then the radius, which in a total circle, you've got a diameter of 20 on this thing. Okay, let me explain another key feature of this tool. So tan radius. If you did tangent up here, and you did tangent over here, and let's say we come down here, we end up with the tangency being here and here. And if you notice, the spot you click on the circle matters. So let me just show you again. And this is something that will trip you up if you're not careful. So tan radius, the spot we select this circle is roughly the spot that it's going to be tangent to. So if we did a tangency here and a tangency here, it's going to give us a circle that's tangent in those spots. So, so keep that in mind. It doesn't do a great job of kind of illustrating that point, but where you click on the circle really does matter. So let's go back to our drawing. Okay. So on this drawing, the spot that you're going to have difficulty with is right here in this area. So what we've got here is we've got an arc or circle that has a radius of 4.2. That arc is tangent with this here. As you can see, you can tell that this arc comes up is pretty consistent, and then it changes its curvature. So it's basically its radius changes, and now you've got a radius of 1, whereas down here it's a radius of 4.2. So what that means is you've got a circle here. Like if you extrapolated that circle out, you've got a 2-inch circle, and then here you've got actually an 8.4-inch diameter circle down here somewhere. Now those circles are tangent to each other, and now you've got a tangency with this circle too. So the rest of that drawing is, pretty doable, given what you've done so far. It's not bad. Again, keep in mind we've got a radius of 6 here, but if you look here, you're going to notice it was once a complete circle. So be looking for circles. Don't just notice that we've got a disconnected arc here and a disconnected arc here. Keep in mind the circle rule. So again, that's all I'm going to give you about this one. I'm going to let you guys kind of wrestle around with this because it's pretty fun. But you'll get 110 if you get it turned in by Sunday night. And then I'll send a video out next Monday and kind of give you a little more explanation of how to do this if you're struggling. But go ahead and turn it in. See if you can figure it out. It'll be a really good challenge. So it'll be these 2 for the week. But if you keep in mind your circle strategy of starting out with a group of circles, and instead of trying to create arcs, I think you'll be all right. Again, let me know if I can help, and let's see. Have a great week.